So now we're going to do the standing part of our class, and you can see I've got a chair that has a low back so that I can just kind of rest my fingertips on top of it. It's just there for a little bit of security when we need it for balance. So we're going to come back to that mountain pose that we just practiced. Take our shoulders back. Look down, see if your feet are parallel like railroad tracks. We're going to lift our heart. And then we're just going to slowly start to rise up. See if you can lift your heels. Maybe you can rise up all the way like you got big high heel shoes on. Good. And then slowly roll down. Don't come down quick. Be nice and slow. And then rock back and see if you can lift just your toes. Not the balls of the feet, but just the toes. So you're engaging all the muscles in your shin right now. And that's the muscles that keep you from tripping over your feet. Let's rise up again. Rising up. Slowly rolling down. You're going to feel those calf muscles working and lift the toes. And let's do it one more time. We're going to rise up and slowly lower down and lift the toes. Good. All right. Let's take our feet about as wide as the chair legs if that's comfortable for you. If that's not comfortable, then you can be narrower. We're going to come into a nice side bend. So I've got my kneecaps lifted. I'm nice and tall. Release one arm. I'm going to inhale up and then exhale as I take it over. Good. Inhale all the way up and drop that hand down. And the other side, we're going to inhale up and take that side over. Inhale up. All right, now bring your feet back to our parallel position like we started. Take the same thing. So just notice if this is harder or easier. Inhale up, exhaling over. Inhale up. And one more time. Inhale up. Taking it over. And all the way. And then see if you can bring your feet all the way together. All the way. Squeeze your knees together, squeeze the upper thighs, so everything's squeezing into the midline. Get nice and tall, and let's try it from here. So we're really going to squeeze that lower body as we inhale up and make the upper body do the work. And release, and one more. So you may have noticed that as we got narrower, maybe it got a little harder to keep your balance. So that means when we need to be really steady and stable, think of a wider center of gravity, a wider base of support over your center of gravity, and that will help you be a little bit more stable. All right, bring those feet back to parallel. We're going to do our standing spinal balance. So this one's a little tricky because you have to do opposite things. So the leg on this side is going to step back, and the opposite arm is going to rise up. So whatever leg's back, you take the opposite arm up. And then we're going to reach that hand up to the sky, and maybe that back leg's going to come up a little bit. Doesn't have to come up very much at all. Breathe. Good. Bring all that back in. Then we're just going to bend our knees into a little chair pose. So we're just going to keep the heels down. Bring your hands to your heart. Firing up those quads again that we talked about earlier. And rise back up. And we're going to do the other side. Other leg goes back, other arm goes up. Lift the hand, lift the foot. Take a breath. And bring it all in, and a little chair pose. If you need your hands on the seat for the chair pose, that's fine. You can even bring your elbows to the chair. And rise back up. All right, we're going to take that again. So if that was a challenge, just repeat what we did. If you want more of a challenge, you could try this. We're going to lift both. One foot and one hand, and then we're going to bend everything. We're going to bend the knee, going to bend the free leg, and then we're going to stretch it back out. And we're going to bend, and we're going to stretch. One more. We're going to bend, and we're going to stretch. And we're going to bring that back. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what that looks like. All right, so now opposite arm and leg. If this is a challenge, you're staying here. You want the next challenge? We're going to bend everything, stretch it back out. Bend everything, stretch stretch it back out. One more. Bend everything. Stretch it back out. Good. And then bring those hands down. Let's come to our chair one more time. Fire up those quads. Good. Rise back up. Maybe it would feel good to shake your legs a little bit. Shake them out. All right. So now we're going to do that same thing sideways. So you can bring all your weight to one foot, point the other foot out, and whatever foot has the weight, that arm's going up. Fingers can stay on the chair, then see if you can lift that opposite leg. Whoa, feeling that in the side body. If that feels like no big deal, see if you can turn and look at your hand because that suddenly makes it much harder. Good. Bring that in. Let's take a wide leg chair. Rise up on the other side, point your foot. Reach, lift, turn and look if you want to make it even more challenging. Good, bring it in and down. All right, let's do a couple of hip circles after that. Whew. So we're gonna do one more facing this way. Bring your weight to the foot on this side, and then I want you to take your other foot and cross it over. See if you can find the floor on the outside of your mat. And then we're going to turn and look at that foot. You're going to feel a nice stretch up this side. You can bring your hands to your waist if you want to make a little bit more twist. Good, and release. And take the other side. So take that foot around, cross it over, turn and look. Maybe your hand comes to your waist. Whew. Circle again. Other way. And bringing your feet back to our parallel. We're going to take our chair, but we're going to make it a skier. So hands to your heart. You're going to come into your chair pose. And then I want you to just kind of stick your hip out to the side. You're going to feel some nice stretch and opening over the outside of that hip. Rise back up and go the other way. Reaching that hip out. Rise back up. Let's do it one more time. Hip goes to the side. Hold on if you need to. Stand back up. One more. Other side. And stand back up. And let's release.